friends, and welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. Today is the 8th day of the 12 days of Christmas, and boy am I tired. But if you don't know what it is, I'll let you know more about that in a few minutes. But first of all, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Brenda. This is my sweet Oliver, and if you're returning, thanks for hanging in there with us. So with all that being said, let's get to crafting. Okay, here's DIY number 1. So I'm going to use some of these beautiful picks I just recently got from Walmart. I just thought they were so pretty, and I knew I was going to make this swag, and so I thought I'd buy them for this. Then I'm going to use this ribbon I got from Sam's Club, and then these trees from Dollar Tree. So I'm going to start off by removing those trees from the boxes. I am not going to use any of the little stand pieces, so I'm going to set them aside. You know, I have a whole bunch of these things, but I just know I'm going to need them for and use them for something someday. So I'm going to fluff this out. Now, these are very scarce little trees, but the nice thing is I'm not going to fluff out the back. So any of them that are in the back, I'm bringing towards the front to make it look fuller, because I want it to be a little more flush in the back because we're making this into a swag. And then the top piece is really long, so I'm just going to cut that off. And then I did the same with the other side, and now I'm just going to connect the two. Now you could do many things with this. You could connect them to some floral foam if you wanted to. I didn't want this to be very big, so you could use zip ties to connect them, but I just use these Garland ties from, these are from Hobby Lobby, but you can use the ones from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to wrap them around. It kind of helps cover the metal part of the bottom of those trees, plus it holds them together, so you get two things in one, right? After that, I am going to start placing these picks. I'm going to have 2 on each side, and I'm just going to I'm pushing it in as far as I can get it, making sure that it's in there good. And then I'm just going to take some of those back pieces of the tree, and I'm going to wrap it around the pick. This way, if I decide to change this out at any time, I can easily change it out and put something different in it. And then once I had that in there, I decided to do the next one. Now, I probably should have done this one first, but yeah, I don't know why I did it this way, but I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to wrap some of those tree pieces around it and just kind of twist around. And this, you can't even tell because these picks make it, because these trees are so small, the picks make it look bigger and thicker. If you wanted to make this bigger, you could do 4 trees and you could definitely add more length to it. So I took this ribbon here. I cut 2 down to 18 inches, and then I made another one that was smaller than that, and one that was a little more in between those sizes. So I'm taking the 2 bigger ones and I'm hot gluing the ends together like you see. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the smaller one. I don't know what I was doing there. And after I have them all hot glued together, we're going to make a bow, and we're going to do a different bow than we normally do. So I'm going to take them, and I'm going to take the 2 longer ones, and I'm going to scrunch them in the middle, and I'm going to make like an X with them. And then I'm going to take this one, scrunch it, and put it right in the middle of those 2. And I thought I cut some of this out. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah. Okay. Scrunch it in the middle and scrunch it and put it in the middle. Then I'm going to take the other one that's the tail, and I'm going to wrap them with one of those Garland ties and just twist, twist, twist. And that's all there is. And then I have the ends of that to twist around the middle of my swag, just like you see me doing, although it's kind of out of frame there. Once I had it all twisted, I thought, it still feels like there's, well, I'm going to dovetail. I didn't dovetail the ends. I tried to, but I went the opposite direction and kind of gave a different edge to them, and I kind of liked that. So I took a couple more of these with the berries, and because I decided that the top part still looked a little bare, so I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to wrap that around and then twist some of the tree around it. And I'm going to do the same with the other side. Then I took some floral wire and I am running it through the back of some of that garland, the garland ties that I wrapped around there. And I'm just going to tie or twist the two ends together, and then I have a loop so then I can hang it. And there it is. I love it. And I just needed something small like this to go over my mantle, and this fits perfectly. And I love it, and I hope you do too. Okay, so today is the 12 days of Christmas DIYs, and we are on day number 8, which is Garland or Mantle Decor. And I am hosting this with my friend Amanda at Molly Cole Creation, so make sure you check out her channel as well as the playlist to get some inspiration for your mantle or for garlands. Okay, and here's DIY number 2, you guys. This is so easy. If you blink, you might miss it. So I bought these two at Dollar Tree in the Dollar Plus section. We have a brand new store just down the street from us, and I found these and thought they would go great for my mantle. And then I'm going to use these picks again from from Walmart, and I'm just going to put it on the front of these trees. Super, super, super easy. But I put my little village set on my mantle, but I wanted to do something different this year. I wanted more trees and rustic and woodland almost like. And so when I saw these trees, because I didn't really have anything for it and I didn't have time to make something for it. So when I saw these trees, I thought they were perfect, but then I thought they are a little plain. So let's just dress them up a little bit. So I'm just taking that floral wire and wrapping it around my pick there. And then I'm going to cut off that end piece. It's really not needed. I did try hot gluing it, as you saw, but the hot glue wasn't going to stick, which I knew probably wouldn't. And it wouldn't stay very long. So that's why I use that floral wire, and then I can always change it out. And look how pretty. It just really makes it look more upscale and just dresses it up so much. So if you don't have these at your Dollar Tree, or if you can't find these, I'll show you what you can do next. So first of all, I want to thank all my subscribers because you guys are amazing. And if you are new here and enjoyed today's video, I invite you to hit that subscribe button and become part of our YouTube family. And then you guys can support my channel by doing that. And then if you'd like to follow me on social media, you can find the links to those as well as my affiliate links in the description box below. Okay, so DIY number 3. So this is what you could do if you can't find those trees. So I'm going to take my Waverly antique wax. I'm going to take another pick from Walmart. I'm going to take some of these bigger tumbling tower blocks. I got those from Five Below, and my table is a mess, you guys. So I was picking off stuff from the trees. I'm going to use 2 of these wood trees from Dollar Tree. So I'm going to start off by taking one of those trees. I'm just going to mark the line of the bottom little piece there, and then I'm going to score it about 4 or 5 times with my box cutter, and then it's just going to snap right off. And I only do it on one. I don't do this on both the trees. I guess I do it more than 4 or 5 times, huh? It didn't feel like it was that much. Anyways, I'm going to take some wood glue and some hot glue and put it on that top part of one of the trees there. And then I'm going to just add this tree to the top. Now, I saw a creator do that here recently, and I don't remember who it was. I'm sorry. I'm going to go over that with my antique wax front and back. Then I got this idea. I thought, oh, what if I do like I do with the red and dry brush? And so I thought, I'm going to do with my antique green. I'm going to dry brush it. But then I started getting a little too heavy-handed on the top. So I was trying to do it lighter, and then I was just kind of like doing these strokes, and I just loved the wispy like strokes. So I just kind of tried to do more of a wispy dry stroke, if that makes sense, because it kind of makes it look more like tree branches on it. And I just thought it looked really cool, and I was really liking the look I was getting from it. So I do this all the way down the tree. I don't do the back. I just leave the back with the brown. You could always do the back if you wanted to. And then once I was done with that, I'm going to take these tumbling tower blocks. I don't remember what they call them at Five Below. It's something similar. I'm going to glue 2 of them together, so I have 2 sets of 2. I'm going to go over them with my antique wax. And then I end up adding a tumbling tower block to the front of these when we're done here. But I'll show you that here in a minute. So after I have all my wax on there and then the excess wiped off, I'm going to glue one of those to the back of my tree, just like you see me doing. I'm using wood glue and hot glue. Of course, the wood glue is for permanent hold, hot glue is for immediate hold. Then I realized it wasn't centered, so I had to kind of push it over. And then I'm going to use wood glue and hot glue on the bottom, and I'm going to glue that onto that stand, which it stood great until I added this. I'm going to add this just like I did on the other trees, but it made it front heavy, so I kept wanting to fall over. So that's why I added another tumbling tower block to the front, and then I just used the antique wax on it as well. And just like the other trees, I'm just using my floral wire, just going around, and that way you can always change it out, like I said. And then I'm just going to add this where I'm adding that block. And then I'm going to just add some pine cones to the top because I didn't cover or put any spackling inside that hole. And then I thought, oh, I'm going to add a little few berries and it will kind of match the greenery on the bottom. So I just added a few berries to it, and there it is. I love how this came out. It is so cute. It's rustic. And yeah, I love it. And see how easy it is to make. Super easy, and you can put it on your mantle. I love it. And you guys, before we get into a celebration of your recreation, the next DIY is something I did a couple of years ago, so it will have a different voiceover. Okay, so Lisa, oh, this is so cute. Thank you so much for sharing these, Lisa. She actually sent me this picture right after I did her last ones, so I thought I'd add this in there. And then Lynette, these are so pretty. You are doing an amazing job. Thank you so much for sharing those with us. And if you have a creation or recreation that you would like me to showcase for you, you can send pictures to my email address there, or you can send them to me through Instagram or Facebook Messenger. I'm always happy to showcase them for you. Okay, so this next DIY will have a different voiceover. Here's the next DIY. Now, I had, first of all, I took 4 of these rectangle wood pieces. I don't remember where I got those. I got these little gingerbread men off of Amazon. I have a couple skewer sticks from Dollar Tree. I actually end up using 3 of those. Some half beads from Amazon, my apple barrel nutmeg brown paint, and some puffy paint in white, and some baker's twine. So I start off by cutting these down to 4 inches. And then and you can see I'm using my miter shears to cut it down, but you can use scissors or a box cutter. This stuff's really thin, so it cuts pretty easily. And once I got that done, then I am marking the middle of that piece, and then I'm going to use my square ruler to form an angle, and the angle was at about 1 1/16 of an inch. So you could probably just do 1 inch if you wanted, but that's the angle that I did. And then I just mark it and then cut them. And I do 2 of the houses this way with that kind of angle. And then I did 2 more houses that have a little, not as steep of an angle. So then I'm just measuring out the skewer sticks to match the top there, cutting them down, and then I'm using some hot glue and just attaching those skewer sticks on the top. And then I'm just going to use my half beads, and I start in the middle and I hot glue 2 at top, and then I just work my way down, and I believe there's ends up being 4 on each side. Now the reason why I'm doing this garland is about a month ago on the Crafted by Corey mini series, I used a what we call thumbnail for my advertisements, and it had a garland, a gingerbread garland on the back because my theme for that was gingerbread. And I had a viewer who absolutely loved that garland and asked if I could recreate it. And so I am doing this for her. So I'm recreating the garland that was on the actual backdrop that I had used. and I think it comes out looking really cute. And as you saw there, I took some of that dowel and cut it down and put it on the bottom of the house as well. And then I took my nutmeg paint and I go and I paint over all the houses and the gingerbread men. Then I took my Crop-A-Dile and I am just punching a little hole on each side of the house, right under the eaves. And then I do the same with the gingerbread man, but I use a marker to put little holes or dots so I know where to put the hole. And then after that, I take a white paint marker and I am drawing in their face. And then I am going to draw some little dots on the arms and the legs. I have my laptop on the right side of me and I was just going by what they look like on the picture. So that's why I'm doing the decorations on them like I'm doing. I wanted to get this as close to that picture as I could so my viewer could see it and maybe even recreate it herself. So for the house with the slope or the roof that's not as sloped, I'm just drawing some windows here with my paint marker. And then I draw a third one there. So yeah, I pause because I'm looking at the picture. But I do end up going with the paint, the puffy paint, and I do little dots around it later. I don't show that, but I do add some little dots around it. So here I'm just making the little, I don't know what, oh, this is the other house. I am making the windows here just like it showed on the picture. And then this one had dots underneath one of the windows. So I'm just, I guess both of the windows. So I'm just kind of looking at the picture and just doing what it showed, making the door here with the marker. And the reason why I'm doing the marker and the puff paint is because on the picture, some of it didn't look as puffy. So that's why I'm using the marker for that spot, that part of it. Then I'm using my puff paint and I'm just outlining each of the gingerbread men with that puff paint. And then I'm going to use it to add some little like squiggly icing lines on the hands and the feet. If you're liking today's video, I would really hope you'd consider subscribing to my channel. I have got a goal of reaching 5,000 before the end of the year, so I would love your help if you could hit that subscribe button and become part of our family. I would just really love it and appreciate it. And then make sure you give me that thumbs up and comment and let me know you're here. So for the second house, or the sloped house, I just went around with a puff paint and colored or put a whole bunch along those half beads. I made some, I don't know what they call those things above the windows. Then I made some little dots and I went all the way down both sides of the house with those little dots. And then here I'm doing the same thing, going around the door with those little dots. Tell you, my thumb was getting tired of pushing that paint, puff paint. Then I just put a big dab along the bottom of the house. And then this one, I am tracing the outline of the house. And then I'm making some, what would you call it? Swirly things on the house, like icing. And then it looked like it had snow dripping down. So I go ahead and make some like V's and paint them in with the puff paint to make it look like snow dripping down. And I wasn't being real careful. And then I went around with little dots all the way around. But I wasn't trying to be exact because the pictures weren't exact. I mean, they were, as far as, you know, real asymmetrical or whatever. They were just, you could tell it was just like somebody decorated them. And then once they were all done and dried, I let them dry for like 6 hours. I took my twine and I put some tape around the end so that it'd be easier to thread through the holes. And I just go from the left, I go down into the hole and then went through the back and came up the hole on the right side. And I did that with each one of them. And I think I had them about 2 inches apart. And then I just tied knots on the very end, and there it is. And I'm going to hang this up in my kitchen and probably above my window. And I think it is so cute. So thank you to my subscriber who asked me to make these. These are adorable. I just love them. You'll have to let me know what you think about them as well. Okay, here is the final reveal. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed that last garland. I love it. I hang it in my kitchen window every year. I just love it. But anyways, make sure you check out the playlist and Amanda's channel. We will be back again tomorrow for day, 8? And it will be countdown, Christmas countdown and advent calendar. So stay tuned for a small blooper at the end. And with all that being said, you guys, I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay. Hi, friends, and welcome back to Rustic and Late. See, I am so tired, I can't even say my name.